What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you guys know me when it comes to XDefiant. I've been having a really good time with this game. Seriously, I enjoy it. I have a blast, and I feel like a lot of other people are sharing that similar opinion. But of course, with it being social media, the internet, online, people don't really want you to have too much of a good time with this game. Now, don't get me wrong. If you don't like this game for legitimate reasons, I completely understand. Nobody can hate that. If you don't like the gunplay or, you don't like the theme of the game, all these reasons are legitimate reasons to not enjoy the overall experience. I get it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But there are some wild things being thrown out there to the public, especially in my comment section. I mean, pretty much every positive video that I could post about this game, it's always someone that's to throw this exact topic out there. Or you could just scroll through any social media platform, Twitter, Reddit, pretty much anyone that you could possibly find. You will see this everywhere. And at some point, it has to come to an end. And that's why I want to go ahead and discuss it in today's video. But guys, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you are interested in more content just like this, don't forget, subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I will be live. Not today, we don't stream on Sundays, but we will be back on Monday between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern time over on Twitch. And as you guys know, we do host open lobbies over there. So obviously, if you want to hop on into the squad, just hop into the chat, say hello, and you can squad right on up. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the actual topic. Like I said, when it comes to XDefiant, there's one phrase that's always thrown around, and it's the fact that everybody thinks that this game won't last because of Call of Duty. This game is irrelevant. You shouldn't be having fun with this title. Oh, you enjoy XDefiant? Well, you're wasting your time. Why would you ever bother wasting your time enjoying a game that isn't going to be relevant, a few months down the road? Well, Black Ops 6 is about to drop, and it's going to completely put XDefiant in the dirt. We already know Call of Duty is going to destroy XDefiant, so why are you wasting time with this game? Any one of these phrases could be thrown about, and it just drives me crazy because we all know that this is the furthest thing from the truth. Guys, it doesn't take a scientist to know the facts that Call of Duty is going to pop off regardless, no matter what, right? We all know this every single year, okay? It doesn't matter what title they make, it doesn't matter what, time period it's in. It doesn't matter. Call of Duty is going to outsell pretty much everything. It's a miracle, honestly, because if you look at any other franchise around them, like let's say Battlefield or Halo, other franchises that have been, lasting just as long, they're nowhere near as popular. It's crazy. It's really rare to see a franchise able to release a game every single year for this amount of time and top charts as consistently as they do without boring out their community. Well, I guess the community is getting bored out, but at the end of the day, it's just pretty fascinating to see. But again, it doesn't take a scientist to see that, yes, indeed, Call of Duty does pop off all the time. Doesn't matter. Everybody in the world pretty much knows the name Call of Duty. Even non-gamers know the term Call of Duty, right? Whether they heard it from a family member or heard it from a friend, the term or the franchise, the name COD has always been relevant. But this is the thing, again, with Call of Duty. First and foremost, it's a long-lasting franchise. So the passion behind the developers isn't as in depth as it used to be. If you think about Call of Duty 4 and World at War and moving forward to, freaking Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1, and then moving forward again to Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, every single set of games had a massive jump in innovation. And the developers were really passionate about the project because it was their baby. That was their creation. They were building up this franchise. Nowadays, that passion kind of lacks. And don't get me wrong, COD is COD, right? People don't buy into COD for passion. They buy into COD to just go on some kill streaks and just, turn their brains off. But still, that passion back in the day did go a long way, especially for maintaining those hardcore fans. You could tell that it was a huge step in innovation every single game that dropped. And nowadays, it's not really there anymore. And you can't blame the developers because the developers, again, It's not their baby. It's more of a maintenance team, in my personal opinion. Yeah, they're crafting new campaigns and trying to bring stuff into the franchise, but realistically, they're more so maintaining the franchise, compared to building up the franchise, right? So that's one thing that, kind of pulls me back from the Call of Duty, zone. Secondly, obviously, skill-based matchmaking, right? I mean, we all know that skill-based matchmaking is always a factor within COD, and we don't even know if it's going to be toned down or reduced. If it is, then obviously we could take that out of the picture. But while that's still relevant, that's going to be a huge no-no for the majority of the community. And third, and the most important one of them all, COD doesn't last that long. The lifespan of these games, and this pairs pretty nicely with the developers, obviously maintaining the franchise instead of it being their baby and they're trying to grow the franchise. This goes, hand in hand with this point right here. But COD doesn't last more than 3-4 months mostly. And honestly, this does date back to some of the OG CODs. Not as much. OG CODs I feel like were way more populated during the, the middle of its life cycle, which is insane because it barely got as much content in the middle of its life cycle. All we got were DLC packs, right? No live service, no drops, no, freaking objectives and challenges dropping all the time to keep people interested. No, it was one base game with DLC that dropped, and it still maintained the player base longer than some of these current day games. But I can't deny the fact that even back in the OG titles, yes, it was still relevant that people dropped off from the game. COD is a huge, brand, right? People buy into COD not just to grind out multiplayer like a lot of us do. We're a small portion of this community. A lot of people just simply buy COD because it's a new campaign dropping. They'll gladly drop $60 to $70 to play a new COD campaign and literally leave it at that, right? People pick up Call of Duty all the time. And for many reasons. We don't know why they might pick up COD. There's a lot of different reasons to go ahead and pick it up. But the end result is that the game never lasts longer than 3 to 4 months. Now, of course, if they took Call of Duty off the yearly life cycle, that could change things up. That definitely would change things up, but that's not happening anytime soon, especially since Microsoft just picked up Activision. Do you really think they're going to go ahead and mess with their cash cow right now? Do you really believe that they're going to stop yearly releases when they literally top the sales every single time they do so? I don't think so. I think they're going to try to profit as much as they can. Maybe later down the road, if COD really starts getting hit, they might start expanding, the years that the game lasts and, it's out. But for the time being, no. They're going to, take advantage of the Call of Duty cycle for as long as possible. And for as long as that goes on, guess what? It's going to have the lifespan of 3 to 4 months. So let me tell you guys something. XDefiant isn't going anywhere. I know everybody wants to say that this game is going to get destroyed by Call of Duty, and Call of Duty is going to make it irrelevant, which, yes, it will partially. It's not going to be completely irrelevant. People will still play XDefiant, especially the new updates. But I can't deny the fact that, yes, people will gladly put down any game they're playing. And this goes for anything. Any game you could possibly think of, not just XDefiant. People will put down everything to literally grind out Call of Duty for 1 to 2 months. Like I said, the more hardcore players, 3 to 4 months, and the really, really, really hardcore players, yeah, they'll probably last the whole year life cycle. But it's not that many people left. The game will have the lifespan, the typical lifespan of a COD game, of 3 to 4 months, and then it's going to severely drop off. And it's going to do this again and again and again. And if XDefiant is lasting all these years down the road, it doesn't matter what happens to this game. 2-3 years down the road, XDefiant can have the best netcode in the world, the best hit reg. It could be on top of the world. It could have all the content you could possibly think of. But if a new Call of Duty game drops, yes, people are going to leave XDefiant and they're going to go play Call of Duty. So we have to come to an understanding of this, that these games are going to live together. Neither one of them are going to destroy one another. And again, just because Black Ops 6 is dropping doesn't mean that XDefiant is in massive trouble. XDefiant has a plan, an idea of expanding this game over the course of years and years and years and years. And that is how this game is going to stay relevant. That's what's going to keep, people coming back in, knowing that when they put time into the game, that progress isn't just going to be reset. They're not going to hit the reset button every single year that goes by. And yes, Call of Duty will indeed swoop up the player counts, every 3 to 4 months. But after that time span, COD is done. We have to understand this. COD will literally stomp out everything besides GTA 6. GTA 6, that's going to destroy the world. That's going to be the most insane drop ever. But when it comes to, anything besides a GTA game, yes, Call of Duty is going to steal people. It's going to steal customers. It's typical. It always happens. But at the same exact time, it always dwindles off. And what XDefiant has good right now is a really good foundation. Yes, it needs work. But this is something that could be done over the course of the years that go by, along with content, maps, weapons. There's always going to be something fresh to enjoy out of XDefiant. Whenever COD is becoming stale, there will always be something new within XDefiant for you to experience. And it's always going to be getting updates towards the experience because year one is already complete. So these developers are literally just hammering obviously the core issues. That's all they have to really work on. So seriously, I definitely expect a lot of good updates, a lot of good changes, and that is going to be a perfect mix between the two. But again, we have to understand, yes, COD will destroy all competition, but at the same time, that doesn't mean XDefiant is going to be irrelevant. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, go down in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this overall topic here. Do you believe that BO6 is literally going to stomp out XDefiant, put it in the dirt, literally lay it in its grave? It's over for XDefiant. Or do you think that, yes, just like, every year, God is going to outsell stuff and pull players away? But I personally believe that XDefiant will still thrive. It's still going to have a good audience. And when COD does get stale, it will be another FPS game here on the side, improving and still fresh for people to hop back into and enjoy. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I won't be live today on Sunday, but I will be back on Monday. I have a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all next one. Peace out.